The first race of the Formula One 2014 season kicks off on Sunday with the Australian Grand Prix. There are new rules, new engines and a new point system. So we thought it would be a good chance to look at the basics of the sport. What are the formulanomics of Formula One? Let's talk to Paolo Avaresa now from Cass Business School. Good morning, Dr. Avaresa.
Good morning.
Is this event at risk because of the high cost?
Well, yes, definitely. The costs of Formula One are always been very high. In recent years, they've actually been growing due to the introduction of a lot of new technology connected with hybrid powertrain. The teams were not prepared to that, or at least they were not as prepared as they thought. In fact, especially the smaller team had some kind of resistance in entering this new.
So they caught them on the hop, effectively. They caught them by surprise.
Yeah.
What sort of money would someone like, or a company like Ferrari, what would they pump into the sport in the course of a season?
And this is a very good question. The point is that, first of all, there are not official disclosure of this kind of data for the fact that for years Formula One has been talking about putting out a cap. Now, if this cap would actually be enforced in the future, the teams who actually spend a lot of money on it, and the average figures talk about even around 500 millions of US dollars per year, they would have problems because actually, as we know, money make a difference on the results of Formula One. So teams always try to, make the number look smaller, so that in case that a cap getting forced, they will be able to tell Formula One administration and FIA that they're actually not spending so much money. The idea is to keep the cost down, also to allow smaller teams to be competitive. And this is why the regulation through the years have become more restrictive towards technology. So to a certain extent, it's a little bit of a shame because the creativity of the teams has been reduced.
Do you think, though, that with these new rules now, we've seen Red Bull so dominant in the last few seasons and Sebastian Vettel winning the World Championship, do you think those smaller teams like Force India and others at the back of the grid are now going to get a chance for a bit of the glory anyway?
Absolutely. Well, Dietrich Mateschitz, the CEO of Formula One Red Bull, said that actually the domination of Red Bull might have come to an end, and this is a pretty big statement considering we're just at the beginning of the season. Now, when the regulation changes a lot, the competition becomes more neck to neck, and the competencies, the knowledge that the big teams have somehow get destroyed because they have basically to compete on different basis. This allows the smaller teams to jump ahead and somehow get closer to the podium zone. And so probably we have to give a good look at the middle field to see which team is probably gonna become the next big team. This is also why probably the teams who control the process of engine design this year will have an advantage, because probably the critical aspect of technology this year is on the engine, and Red Bull outsourced the engine from Renault. And in fact, the problem that Red Bull has been facing during the testing season is actually the same problem that the other teams who have Renault have been facing.
Okay, and in your view, who's going to win it?
Well, that's a pretty difficult question right now, but I think that we should keep an eye on the big teams that actually develop in-house their own engine, which means Ferrari and Mercedes.
Okay, many thanks for that, Dr. Paolo Avaresa there from the Cass Business School. And just a quick text, changing from my economy 7 metre saved me money. Unless you use 40% of your electric at night, it works out more. And that's from Peter in Lincolnshire. So many thanks for that.
5 Lives Wake Up to Money podcast. Delivered to your computer every weekday. For more information, go online
bbc.co.uk/5live.